Mic's on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live. Awesome. Hey guys. Welcome to our first ever podcast Q&A session, whatever you want to call it. So our guest today is Bob Vermeulen. It's quite cool that he's our first guy because Bob is actually my first work colleague that I had in the Netherlands called Hobby Bob. So it comes quite nicely. So the idea of this is just to chat to Bob about his experience in the engineering field. He works for a company called PlumPot, where they're busy building a flying car. So I'm just going to ask him questions. You guys are welcome to ask questions in the chat, and then we can see how it goes. If the sound is not right, let me know because I'm not hearing myself. Give me a thumbs up in the comments or something. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah. So just tell us a bit about yourself. Where you from? Why you chose engineering? Was it always from a young age, or was it just later in life you just enjoyed it? Yeah. So just whatever you want to talk about. Just tell us what. Yeah.
I'm from the Netherlands, and engineering already from a very young age. I believe I was 9 when I was already taking apart all sorts of equipment. Just want to know how it works.
What type of stuff do you take apart?
The first one I remember is a small radio device. Lots of buttons and switches and lots of things to take apart, of course.
Yeah. So it was always from 9 age, because I know for myself, it's like, when I was 9 and stuff, I wanted to become doctor. It was only time in life, so it's just I always broke stuff, but I never fixed stuff.
I started also with breaking stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. I never know anything else, but I like electronics from the beginning.
So you never thought about anything else but electronics? And I wanted to know about, in the Netherlands, how does it work with, do you have to decide at that age already to become an engineer, or
No.
You can choose any time, so you can switch at 16, 17?
Yeah, when you go through the school, then halfway you get to choose a direction, which is still quite broad. And then, many years after that, then you have to choose the specific directions, and then I chose electronics.
That's cool. And projects you're busy with currently?
I did lots of things already, but now I recently started a new project, which will be a smart remote controller, because we now have lots of remote controls for the TV and the radio and Netflix or whatever.
And what are you using for that?
So I want to try and use an e-paper display with touch as well. So you can have a low battery consuming device, like a remote. You have to use it for many days without the charge. It would be the best option.
And what are you using? The M5, right?
Yeah,
the M5 came out with a new...
Recently M5 has a new e-paper display, which is already everything in one package, which is ideal for us. You have capacitive touch and the ESP32, which is very familiar.
Yeah.
And then the whole housing is nice. It looks fancy. So easy to start a new project.
I think for electronics, it's always, you have this ugly stuff, but to make it look nice is also, it's a whole different game. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, in the beginning, I wanted to try with other projects to build everything from scratch, but then you're spending so much time building something which is actually already available.
So where do you find the balance? Because I know we are quite different. So you will plan it in like for months, make every single footprint, make every data sheet, where I sometimes just go and then it doesn't work and then step back. So do you find that you have to find that balance now, or that you're saying that you used to make everything by itself?
No, I still have a hard time finding the balance every day, but I'm quite a perfectionist, so I want to have every detail. But now using an EDA from Arduino, you can have so many stuff working in just a few hours.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm tending towards that more.
Just to get the output.
And the details I can do at my work as well. So
that's true. So about your work, working for PlumPot, you want to say something about it? I know you can't say too much, but what exactly you guys are busy with?
I started recently at March this year.
Yeah.
So we are now building, just have that vehicle we have now licensed for the road. We can illegally drive now.
Yeah.
And the next step is going to make it to fly, but that's also a long process because you have to do all sorts of certification and very tight regulations.
So it's legal on the road now, but it can't fly yet. Can it fly? Have you flown yet? Has someone
Not
flown
with
yet?
the current vehicle, no. There's one prototype, which when the company started was building first. and that is the one which already flew.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But now you say it was, you got it not legalized, but you got it certified for the road. Is it the same steps taken as normal car? You take it to that special place, you take it once a year?
Yeah,
So
only it's difficult
roadworthy.
because it's a flying car, so we have lots of differences from a normal car, which has to be licensed.
Like what? What's the biggest challenge with driving compared to a normal car?
The emissions is a very, very big thing, because we use engines which also have to be able to fly the vehicle. And normally a fly engine is not built for emission to comply with driving.
So the CO2 levels and things
For
like that.
example, yeah.
Wow. And how do you guys combat that, or what you like to say?
No, I don't even know. I'm in the electronics team, so I don't know much about the engine stuff. Luckily, because it's too complex.
Okay, yeah. And now for flying, you guys are busy getting that worthy now.
Yeah.
And how what steps you take for that? Because like you spoke earlier that it's never been done before. There's no law yet or safety regulation for both. There's one for separate, not for both. So then you have to make your own regulations and take it to the government or take it to some faculty that can.
Yeah, there are lots of companies. I don't know exactly how that works, but we have we can build our own regulation, and then we can apply it to the European people. Know how that stuff works, and then they can review the regulation into a final version. But how that exactly goes, I even don't know.
And how many guys are you guys now? Like how many employees?
I believe around 100 people now, mostly engineers. Yeah. So
because they were a startup, but now they're going to a bigger, not corporate yet, I would say.
I don't know how that works.
Okay.
It's already quite big, yeah.
So they're going through a phase now that they used to be a startup, but now they want to get bigger and stuff. So do you find the process are becoming more and more like ways of working and all that fun stuff?
It's a difficult transition.
It's not more cowboy like, here we go, build it.
Yeah, you feel that most engineers still have that in them. You can do whatever you want, but if you want to build a vehicle which also has to fly, then safety is a big aspect.
And how many people have the last say? Because I find it in corporate sometimes you have 10 people that have to make a decision, and for all 10 to decide, it never happens. So that takes like 4 months. Is it like one guy who says, okay, I'll take responsibility, this is the call I'm making, and that's it? Or is it?
Yeah, it depends on what your, how detailed the part is you want to verify.
Is it? Okay. So there's different team leads and things like that.
Yeah, there's a whole hierarchy to make that happen.
And the founder is still there?
Yeah.
Is he still heading the company?
Still very involved.
Is he like an Elon where he actually does engineering as well, or is he just running
actually?
Just investment?
I think he's also an engineer because you have to be very creative to come up with such
ideas. How many people started this?
Yeah, this began with one, I believe.
One wanted to build a flying car.
Yeah, and then he took a lot of people who are knowing flying stuff, driving stuff, and then they combined the whole idea and make a proof of concept and getting from there.
So when is it coming out? Like when can we see this flying?
I don't know.
2-3 years. I don't know. Be like Elon, just say next week.
Yesterday.
So okay. So you studied engineering and you've been at, this is your second company now, I know. So looking back now through the years from studying to now, is there anything that you would change the way you would have done stuff? Can you think of anything that for a young engineer just studying, what would you have changed?
Yeah, I think I'm quite happy the way it went, but you have to be very watching out for the company you're working on if you still like it. Yes or no. That's important because it's easy to stay at the company you're working at because everything is fine. You don't have to search for a new job. It can be a safe place.
Safe zone, But do you still keep learning and growing and stuff like this? Especially at our age or your age, under 30. I'm not under 30 anymore. Yeah, that was the biggest thing because the safety net is the worst. Yeah. Because you get so used to procedures, you get so used to doing stuff, it's easy. And I think once stuff gets easy, it's too easy. I don't know. Yeah,
but it can be perfect to stay at one company for like 50 years if you enjoy it. Yeah. But you have to watch out for a pitfall that you are in a safe place. Yeah. That's the main thing.
And do you find it that now working like this, is it better to focus on one thing, like let's say PCB design or firmware, or just to be a jack of all trades of all of them?
I think it's a personal
Personal
trade-off. Yeah.
Because I know in your company, you're fortunate that you can take an idea that or the company has, and you can do the PCB, you can do the programming. But that's not like that in normal companies. So normal companies,
mostly it's focused
thing.
on one specific direction. Yeah.
So that's quite interesting.
But yeah, it has upsides and downsides, of course. If you are doing only PCB design, you will be an expert in PCB design. But if you can do multiple things like software as well, and whatever it comes to the whole development, then you can focus. You cannot focus on everything. So you know all the stuff, but you don't know all the details from everything.
Yes. But then when it comes to difficult technical stuff, then you always ask the expert.
Yeah. But you need experts within the company to ask.
Yeah, so you need both actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you enjoy the I wanted to ask you this. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made as an engineer in a company? Because we all make mistakes, and I think a lot of people are quite scared of making mistakes as a company because they think they're going to get fired, but that's not the case. We all make mistakes. Do you remember a mistake you've made?
Blowing up capacitors because they are upside down.
I remember, you were there, man, when I put all the LEDs in the wrong colors and stuff, and populated like 1,000. Yes, that was big trouble. But it happens. You don't get fired all the time.
Yeah, how many mistakes you make, but that's also the main thing of our job. We have a lot of, we are problem solvers, but we also make a lot of mistakes. We create problems, yeah.
Guys, if there's any questions you guys want to ask Bob or myself, please just let me know in the comments. I wrote some stuff down that people asked, so I'm just going through it. So someone also asked me, as a PCB designer, you know nothing about it. What is the best place to start? So they asked me that last week as well. And I couldn't think, like, you know nothing. You're electronics engineers, you know the schematics. Mm-hmm. But how can you start PCB design? What is the best way? Just download and go? Or how did you learn? Because you do it at university? Because a lot of universities don't actually teach you.
Yeah, we did something at university, but mostly I learned online. Watching videos on YouTube, reading communities.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. And then I had some small thing at school, an internship where I first went and started up a ECAD program, Eagle at that time. That's when I first came into contact with that stuff.
With Eagle?
Yeah, with a CAD program in general. And drawing stuff, and then you place all the components in very weird places because you don't know.
Yeah, and then you're already bored, and it just comes again. I should have done this better. I should have done this better. Okay, I said the same thing. I think for me, it's if you have a project and idea like this coaster, for instance. Once you have an idea at the end, you'll learn how to do it until you get there.
Yeah,
it's where you just want to go and you're like, let's learn about differential pair. Let's learn about placement. It gets a bit boring. But if I've got a USB that I need differential pair, then I'll learn about differential pair.
Yeah,
that's just how I am.
I start simple because if you use a simple project to start with, you can easily get to the end result without going into very complex material and information.
Yeah, I also like just keeping it what you're interested in because I know you love LEDs. So your projects at home is just LEDs. Guys, you want to just check Fusion's Instagram and bottom. He actually made these stairs that when you walk on it, it lights up as it goes. That's pretty cool.
You experienced in a very creative way.
So that's cool. So we could change the colors to red, green, blue, everything. So we play the South African national anthem, and I started dancing on it. But people also need to understand this stuff takes time. Yeah. Everyone just sees the end product, but they don't understand the work that goes behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. It's once you have an idea. That's why I always tell people, if you want to become a PCB engineer, you really have to think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like software where you can just go, okay, try, remove the code. Once you order hardware and it's wrong, you're gonna have to pay for it, and then wait for another 5 weeks. So it's an interesting. I love it.
And preparation takes.
Yes, generating bombs, just placing components, trivial stuff. It takes forever. So guys, appreciate the electronics in your phone and stuff. Really, they are the real heroes. Someone's asking what's on the plate.
Cookies.
That's cookies. I don't know. Can you put it here? I don't think we're supposed to eat it.
And then put it back.
Emma wants the stairs. So, but you have stairs left?
I have PCBs left, yes.
So if there's anyone who wants the stairs, but you have to install yourself, right?
Yeah, I can try to help. I should be able to.
Let us know. Just have a look on your links at the bottom of the YouTube, Facebook. I don't know about Twitch. Not too sure how that works actually. But yeah, that's very tasty. So someone wants cookies as well. Oh, she's fancy. That's a cool name.
I can turn this on as well.
Yeah, turn it on. Oh, the cookies are blocking the coasters. Oh,
More lights.
Yeah, so this is also another thing. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, you can't see. So this is another thing we're busy making, like coasters with LEDs. So Bob also started this Fusions thing. So what is Fusions?
Fusions is just my social media platform, so for all my hobby projects. So I can separate it from private as well. But like the stairs and all the projects I do, I want to put it on social media. So it also motivates myself to go on with the project and finish it. It helps a lot.
That is true. People want to see your stairs. Instagram's the best, right?
Yeah, or YouTube. There's a video on YouTube as well.
Guys, I'm going to show you guys these stairs. Fusions YouTube, right? Or is it Bob?
Fusions. Fusions projects. Also, the stairs I built with 2 different friends because it's quite a complex project, and we went hobbying like once or twice a week in the evening. I remember. So it's only a few hours a week you can use to build the project, and then if you stretch it over the whole project, it can take quite some time to finish it. But you still have.
I want to speak to you about the time because people are popping up questions about that as well. Hey Ranesh, Ranesh says hello. He says nice setup. How are you guys doing? Please pop those questions. I'm going to show you guys a video about Bob's stairs. Let's see if I can do this.
You are in the video as well, huh?
I hope so. Application window. Yes. Let me know how it goes.
The web interface to control the stairs, but you can have your own domotic apps. You have whatever.
That's very cool. Yeah, so guys, if you guys want, speak to Bob, message him, PM him, DM, what do you want to call it? He's got some PCBs left that he's made. So yeah, he can help them because it's just a PCB now, right? PCB and code.
Mostly a PCB, yeah. And I can help, of course, with the LED strips I used and the housings and whatever.
And how many stairs can you do?
Depends on the amount of colors you want.
Yeah.
So it's a 48 channel device. So you can have 48 white channels. But if you want RGBW, for example, then you have to divide it by 4. So you can only do 12 steps.
Oh, okay.
And then there is an option to do tunable white. So you can have 24 or 36 channels, or only RGB. Then you can have 16 as well. Yeah, it depends on the configuration, but it's 48 channels.
And what did you call it? Because you call your projects all different stuff, right? So what is this called?
This is LED stairs.
No, your PCBs. You had a name on it, right?
Oh, this one is the Jimby, I believe.
So you took musical instruments or what? Apparently from Africa, not South Africa.
The whole of Africa. Yeah. Okay. I saw that different companies doing that as well. For example, operating systems. I believe Linux or Apple also uses different names for animals, for example. And I like that idea, so I started using the African names of instruments. So every PCB in a certain project gets a name of a different instrument.
Ah, that's cool. And then, are you going to change that when you make something up? When are you going to run out of instruments? Have you seen how many instruments there are in the world? Or not?
Yeah, I have to come up with something else. So ideas are welcome.
Hey, Christoph. So what Bob also does is with his PCB designs, he actually puts a smiley face on every single one he designs. So apparently that was not unique to you as well. Your colleagues are also doing it.
Yeah, the smiley.
The smiley is unique,
quite simple.
And
at the previous company, it was very unique because when we went in production, then it was also always everybody was searching for the smiley.
Yeah.
But in the second company now at PlumPot, then everybody has his own icon and it's even more detailed than ever. So, the smiley was now simple.
Yeah, I remember smiley Bob, and a lot of people say they don't have time to work and hobby. So and you're married. So how do you do that? How do you find time for everything?
Well, it helps if you have to go into quarantine for Corona. I don't know how long I'm going to get this material.
But you don't, like after work, you don't feel too tired to do it because you enjoy it, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like you ever go, I have to go hobby.
But of course, if you're at work, you have been designing PCBs all day, then designing PCBs at home is not the way to go because that's too much. But if I can switch to software or do the opposite of what I did during the day, it's fine.
So you don't think what you do at work, you should not take home and try to do it again?
But because I do different things at work, I can do different things at home as well.
Okay, so if you do PCB at work and PCB at home, you're going to get tired of PCB.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Christoph, I hope you blow up, guys. I hope it's the podcast, not us. Thanks, I guess. Guys, swing those questions. What's everyone busy with? And now that you're in such a big team, the balance of working together and not by yourself, how do you cope with that? Like you have so many people with so many different personalities and way of doing things. Mm-hmm. Is there like a hierarchy where you say, okay, cool, you have the say, just let it be? Well, how important is teamwork now at PlumPot?
Yeah, it's still very important, of course. But we have different teams for every component of part of the vehicle. That helps a lot. But the electronics team, which I'm part of, is quite broad. Throughout the whole vehicle, electronics is used. So apart from being in your own team, you get a lot of connections and team efforts with other teams. But that's quite fine. I like it.
No, you become like part of a family, and family's fucked.
Yeah.
But also, what I realize now because we also work in a big system with a lot of cables and stuff, because you probably have cables routing and all that stuff. So you have, I think, EMEs, okay, electromechanical engineers that does the cable routing or not?
Yeah, we have a specific person for the cable management. Yeah.
And then what I realized was that's also electronics. So you have people dedicated just to make sure the cable routing is perfect, from point A to point B. And I never thought about that. When I saw electronics, I was just PCB, that's it, put it there. Well, it's a whole team. There's quite conflicts and cable selection and connector selection. It's actually another whole different department.
The whole cable management is a full-time job on itself. Yeah.
We have the same with the machines. It's craziness actually. And if you want to change one cable, it impacts everything. So when you design, guys, design of the whole system, not just for your little thing. That's important. Yeah. Ranesh has a question. What's your question, Mr. Kumar? so cool that I can push show, back show. It's a pity. I should actually put it on the TV and you can see.
I tried with phone, but then you have the lag, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I think it's a lag for everyone.
I don't know.
I think so. Wait for our questions. So what? How can I question this? I'm just mumbling my words here. But as a young student, because there's lots. Okay, wait. There are people, including me, what is basically happening in my state as well as other states in college. I see that people have good ideas, they make their prototypes, they make it to their best. I think something's missing. I see that people have good ideas and prototypes. I'm quite waiting for the next part. I think I know where it's going. Bring it to market. They make it to their best ability as you. So any other projects in your mind for the future?
No, not yet. It's already hard to make a new project because you're focused on one and then it takes quite some time to finish it. And then... But most projects came out of ideas because I wanted to do something or saw something on the internet and I wanted to build it myself because buying it is too expensive and it's more fun to make it yourself.
So you don't have a book with these ideas and then just like, okay, I want to do this future. What makes you, and you always finish all projects?
I want to, yeah. Not all projects.
Yeah, I also that problem where I start something and then I'm like, okay, but this would be cool, and then like it lies in the cupboard for years. So Ranesh asked, okay, there are people, including me, what is basically happening in my state as well as other states in college. I see that people have good ideas, they make their prototypes, they make it to their best, but when it comes to business and making a proposal and moving to product from prototype, we stop. Yes. So what's the question, Ranesh? I not to stop. It's so weird. I don't know about you, but you've never tried to take something selling, like your stairs you did a bit, but not really full time.
Yeah, stairs I did because I wanted to feel how that sort of things go.
I like for us as well. We're gonna start selling these coasters. I think people are too stuck with the idea of making everything perfect. Mm-hmm. So it's like they have this great idea and they're scared that people are going to steal it, so they don't want to say anything. But I think for us, best is just to get the idea, the proof of concept out, and then see if there's distractions. If you have a job, try to do the job and do this part-time and then try selling. But that's what we're currently doing. I think it'd be very difficult or different if you don't have a job and trying to sell something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a difficult situation. We have not sold anything yet, so I don't know. We can't actually say. But what's the reason you guys are stopping? And who are you making the proposal for? Ranesh? I'm still not too sure what the question was, but...
I don't have any experience in selling stuff, but I can imagine it's quite difficult because it's not only the part of designing and ordering more stuff, but you get so many additional administration and prices because you have to order more components and build it yourself. It takes more time. So you have to think about it very good before you start selling more than like 10 devices for someone. I totally agree. And I think you should maybe also just start selling small, sell to your friends, sell to your family, get a feeling for it. If you want to do this on the side, if it's a company, I don't know, it's because there's regulations like with this coasters now, we've got lithium battery in there. So that needs to have special stuff. You can't ship it anyway. So you need stickers on when you ship it. Luckily it's epoxy, so it should be safe. But the costing as well, the startup cost is a lot. It's expensive hobby making PCBs and designs. Risk is involved as well.
Yeah.
Something goes bad or it doesn't work, and then you have to support them again, but you don't take into account the amount of time and maybe money it takes you to help them.
Yeah, if it burns, who pays it? Like if this thing blows up now, what happens? I'm liable, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
I don't know how that
things
goes.
like that. Ranesh, is that your question? So why do you stop? What idea did you take to the thing? Yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I see that people. I think you need to also speak to people who've done it before. Like surround yourself with people. So in us in Netherlands also we've got there's actually South Africans in business community, so they can share ideas. So wherever you are in the world, just try to find a Facebook group, find an Instagram, whatever, and just chat to each other. And don't be scared to show your ideas. So open an Instagram account, open a Facebook, and just share the ideas. People aren't going to steal it. Big companies will not steal your idea. They've got so much paperwork to do. They will not steal it. They will buy it from you, but they will not steal it. Because I read an interesting thing that only, I think, 5% of all patents actually get done.
Yeah.
So it's like people are so scared of people stealing ideas, and I don't think people steal ideas. But I also found with engineers is that engineers just like building. It's like if you look at the free resources people are giving, they don't care about money. It's strange.
No, you want to build something, and then if it works, it's so amazing. You get so many responses. For example, the LED stairs, it took me quite some time to get there, but the amount of responses you get, and I can enjoy it every day I walk on it.
Yeah, and you did it.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything like it yet, actually.
Of course, there are stairs with LEDs, and I've seen some similar ways people did this. Because my stairs is then a bit advanced, so it can light up every step of the stairs separately in different colors. That's not something you see very often, but also it's not something you use very often.
Yeah, that's also true.
For example, the RGB effect and the rainbow you can see on the video is not something I use every day.
Why not?
But if you have a party or something, it's quite fun to put it on.
But you don't have to use it for stairs, right? You can use it for anything.
You can use it for It's just for LED strips. You can connect 12-volt LED strips to it, and then you can do whatever you want.
Have you thought about doing something else?
Not yet, no.
Put in a swimming pool. Hey, Maverick. Yeah, strange. You've got like Twitch and YouTube, and then all of them have different icons. So yeah, please guys, Ranesh, please let us know if we actually answered. No, we don't. And when we make any product, do we need to make it up to industrial standard? And what are industrial standard? People say a lot about it, but it's hard to find something specific.
That depends on where you use it for.
What are you making? So industrial standard, you get different ones. You get the high voltage ones. You get, you guys are flying now. That's industrial standard.
Yeah, it's even more than that, I guess.
Yeah, but what do you want to build?
So for hobby projects, it's also like my home is a lot of devices and all the lights I can control from my smartphone.
Yeah.
But those devices which control the lights are connected to mains voltage, and that's quite a dangerous thing to use. So I don't build the main control modules myself, just for a safety aspect. But I'd like to control those things, so I purchased small modules, and then I built the whole ecosystem to control it around it myself.
That's clever. So the part of the safety factor you take out, and let people, because you're not gonna beat them on price.
No, it's not.
You as a single person will never beat mass production. So
never.
Yeah, so that's a good idea. Ranesh, I think that's a good way to go. Is there specific standards you're worried about? I know for us now with these coasters, we have to look at a lithium battery. So we have to look at that specification, what happens when we ship it. It's not allowed to be on, it's my understanding. I'm not too sure actually. Yeah. It must be enclosed. So the standards in the world are quite big. So at my company now, we're busy with NFPA, where the thickness of a cable must be certain thickness, and the wires in the cable must be certain. You can't have too many wires at certain current, certain voltage.
Yeah, it has to be fire repellent.
Exactly, all that stuff.
Chemicals.
So yeah, it's very difficult. So it has to be project based. So in Europe, you'll need the CE mark.
Yeah.
In America, you'll need the UL mark. And that all comes with different things. So it's really a broad question. But take it like we only know for this lithium battery that we're focusing on now because we want to ship it around the world. I'm just thinking about other projects that we've done. But I think what Bob said is a good idea, that stuff you're worried about, like taking 240 volts to 5 volts, buy those modules and work around it, because those are already certified, especially high voltages. Like EMC, EMI, that's still more nonsense.
Yeah, and also depends on if you want to purchase or sell it or not.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got another question from Ishot. What will be the future of electronics as lots of people are taking software side? That's a very good question.
Yeah, but you need hardware to get the software done. So hardware will always be there. But yeah, you see a trend in existing modules.
But why do you think more people are going to software?
Because you can easily get some projects done by stacking up some modules and then writing software for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's easier software, but it's like if you're late at night, 10 o'clock, you can work for 5 hours and try to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But if something's wrong with your electronics, hardware-wise, it's game over. It's like a patch wire there and then oscilloscope there.
It's complex.
It's complex, and it's the amount of work you have to put in to get out computer software. I don't know. I'm not that much in software, but yeah, you do with both.
Yeah.
So you're programming now at your company. So yeah. Do you think it will start going like this more often? Do you think hardware design will become less and less?
No, because you always need it. But in the hobby, I think you can use more and more modules because it's also from a price point, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
It's easy because you can get something up and running very fast. But for example, what I also sometimes do is I start with off-the-shelf modules, build something with the software, and then you have a sort of proof of concept. And then if you want to build your own final design, you can use the hardware, but you can also use your own hardware based on the modules you've used.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, you say it will always be needed, but it doesn't mean we'll always have enough people.
No.
Like if I look at analog electronics, it's a dying art for the young people.
Yeah.
If we had, I just remember at trainer, like there was one guy who knew everything, and then we had to learn. It's really analog. It's dying.
It's complex.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, Shot. So I also notice a lot that we are starting to get PCB hardware engineers that really understand everything. Software, we have lots because we sit with software all around us. Another question. Hardware, I think, is improving both on chip manufacturing side and reducing the BOM. What do you say about that?
Okay.
They think that we may. Ranesh, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he means is we're improving our IC so much that we're getting a lot of bang for the buck. So on the components inside, you don't need all the other components anymore that you used to need.
Mm-hmm.
So our BOM is getting less and our footprint is getting less, smaller. So.
Yeah, the components will be more advanced and in the future, of course. But how that goes in, I don't know.
Well, they're going to start stacking the transistors on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be quite interesting. Because Kerry works for a company that actually produces the chips, or the machines that produce the chips, and they are struggling now at the moment because of Moore's law. Things are getting so small that they're actually trying to stack it together. But now the problem is the wafer they use starts warping. So it's micrometers, but it's like it's crazy accuracy.
Yeah.
What are the tests which are done to check the reliability of the PCB? In my case, I'm making a flight controller board. So taking into example, that test should I go for? What type of test should you do for a flight controller board? So when you make a PCB, you already think about testing it or not really?
Yeah, you have to take that into account from the beginning.
Yeah. So what type of stuff do you test?
Of course, you start with the functional test. Yeah. Does it do everything I want? And if you know the PCB works as it's supposed to, then you have to do more because what does it do in different temperatures, for example? Then you can temperature cycle the PCB design and put it on in harsh environments, for example. Mm-hmm. And also the inputs and outputs, that's the most important thing. You define what the inputs and outputs can be from your device based on voltages or signals. But what if a different signal is approaching your PCB? So the protocol you use is maybe misused by some hacker or something, how does the PCB respond to that? And what if the voltage is too high or too low? Will it break or will it start doing strange stuff? Or
yeah, because I remember you did a lot of EMC stuff in the lab, make sure that all the signals are correct and stuff. But then when you make the PCB, do you put specific test points at certain places, or
yeah, that's the best way to start.
Just normal test points and just.
And if you have a quite complex design, you can start by putting in 0 ohms jumpers, for example.
Yeah.
So you can remove those while testing the PCB, and then when you know for certain it works, then you can make a new spin of the board without all those testing.
Yeah. I guess
final design.
Do the 0 ohm for TX and RX just in case, because always mix it up.
For example, yeah. And for EMC, you can use those 0 ohm places to put in filters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Ranesh is working on a FOC drive, so it's a flight control, I think, of BLDC motors.
Brushless DC.
There we go. That's why you're the expert. That's why I want to know about industrial standard. So, yeah, a drone is not exactly the same as your flying car. That's what I realized. No. So, what is the one you guys are doing? What's it called?
In the standards.
The type of vehicle it is.
Yeah, it's a
gyrocopter. No, not a gyrocopter.
That combination for a 3-wheeled car and a gyrocopter.
Oh, but a gyrocopter actually goes straight and flies like a plane. I thought a gyrocopter just goes straight up, but
no, it needs a small distance of horizontal speed.
Yeah.
And then the rotor blades get enough force to lift the whole vehicle.
So cool. So I should actually get a video of your company. Ranesh is full of questions. Nice. Because there are really high DC voltages when you're dealing with brushless motors. And for flight controllers, we are measuring the current and changing them as required. So what are the things we should consider while designing power planes?
That's difficult.
That is a question and a half. Because current and voltage is always going to be your track widths, your clearances, things like that is important.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the dielectric between the PCBs. What do you classify as high voltage? High DC voltage. 160. 48 is not high, right? 72 is high.
Yeah, above 48 it gets a whole different standards.
For us, it was just clearances and creepages and thicknesses. The power planes, we never worry too much, right? The dielectric between the PCBs are way more than you have to worry about. Because when you got a PCB, you've got your top layer, your stuff, and then you get your planes, and then in between is called dielectric, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that to break that, you actually need kVs or
kVs.
Yeah. So power planes is not an issue. So when dealing with voltages and currents, is your track width and your clearances and your creepage. So the clearance and creepage is kind of the same or not the same. So what's the difference? Clearances?
You have with the sparks we can go over the gaps or which follow the path.
Okay. Yeah. And the creepage is the full path and clearance is the direct.
I believe so, yeah. It's one way or the other.
Flight controller. That must be cool. And your flight controller, so the PLB is not automated apparently, so you have to fly it yourself. Mm-hmm. But surely there must be stabilization somewhere, or not at all?
It's all mechanical.
All mechanical.
Yeah, but it's the safety feature as well, because without electronics, if the electronics would fail, you still want the gyrocopter to land safely. And that's only possible if you have the mechanical controls of the vehicle.
Are you planning to make it autopilot?
No, not in the future, near future.
But can pilots still fly without autopilot?
It's not a Boeing flight plane.
Yeah. How many people can it take?
Two.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for the question, Ranesh. I hope you answered it, sort of. But yeah, every design will be different. Let's go through the questions. Spoke about yourself.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Too much. I'm checking. I want to. So Someone asked in Discord, what do you find the best about being an engineer? Yeah, why should you choose? Because this is not a rewarding, it's not a rewarding discipline, shall I say.
It's a difficult job, difficult function to do.
Difficult. You're quite responsible for many things. If something is wrong, people can die. It's not. And yeah, the pay is fine, but there's other jobs that pays the same. So
you have to do it because you love it. Otherwise, you won't get there anyway.
So what do you like the most about being an engineer?
The end results of products you build and the team effort. If you have a whole team and all the electronics people together, the things you can build, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Look around you and see how many devices are here which use electronics, and then if you can be a part of building such devices, that's amazing. Yeah. And
but people just see the end product. They should actually just experience just making it full thing, because there is processes in between which is not fun. It's not the whole process is not nice. Let's be honest.
No.
It's but like seeing stuff like this.
You go from problem to problem, and you generate new ones. When you break something, you can start over.
Blows, not power trips, and you shorted earth and stuff like this. What are your interests besides hobby? So do you just do PCB design? Or what do you do besides hobby?
I have a lot of friends who drink something or sport. I recently started doing some sort of climbing without the ropes. How do you call it? Boulder.
Really? Like without a rope?
Yeah, so the height is limited, but you need more technique climbing.
So you need grip strength.
Yeah, grip strength and
did you fall?
Balance and not yet.
How long do you do that for? Like how high do you go?
It's up to 3 meters, I believe. It's not that high. But then the surface is very, very thick mats, so it's safe. I just started as I only used the small, easy routes.
You and your wife?
No, we're friends.
Friends.
Yeah.
And wow, I never expected that. Yeah, we used to squash together. So boulder climbing. Yeah, my hands are too small. But do you go upside down? Because I saw people like going like this, like Spider-Man.
You can do that, but I'm not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
3 meters. That is high, man. I'm afraid of heights. That is high. So do you do hobbies a lot with other people, or which one do you prefer? Like, do you prefer
electronics?
No. I mean, like, I know you do a lot of projects with other people as well, so it's not just you always.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer to always have someone with you while doing hobbies, or do you like being by yourself sometimes, or does it just differ depending on how you feel?
Yeah, it differs. I like to spend a late night hobbying, and that can be me on my own.
Yeah.
But hobbying with some friends in the evenings throughout the week is also.
Where do you get most done? By yourself.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean I don't like it to be with friends, because then you can chat about everything, and it doesn't have to be a whole evening about electronics as well.
No. Pizza, things like that.
No.
Let me just go through my list.
And it helps if you're not alone, because if you have a problem, which we as engineers have a lot of, then you need some persons to explain your problems and try to figure out together what the problems can be, what the solution should be.
But I also find just chatting to someone sometimes, you like talk and like
rubber ducking.
Yeah, is that what you call it?
Yeah,
rubber ducking. Like you explain something and like, I should have done like this, and the guy doesn't give you an answer. But
it's literally, the name is literally what it does. So you can put a rubber duck on your table, start explaining to the rubber duck what is the problem, and then while you are explaining it, you most often find the solution yourself, because then you explain every step of the process, and then you, oh wait, now I know it.
It's called rubber ducking.
Yeah.
Who made that up?
I don't know. You can look it up at Google, and then you can find the story behind it. But that's roughly what it is.
That is true. That happens to me a lot.
You can explain to everyone. You don't even have to be an engineer. You explain the problem to someone, and then you can find out the solution yourself.
Rubber ducking. Yeah, I learn something new every day. But that's why it's always nice to chat. But I think engineers can be also hard-headed sometimes. Like, everyone wants to be right and stuff. But anyway, you work with some nice people. Yeah. So any questions, guys? Keep them coming. But I need to get into more software. But I've just been hard. Carrie is such a better programmer, so she does everything. Yeah, so our next design that we're actually going to be busy with is, you remember that chess set that we always wanted to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we finally started that.
Yeah, cool.
So we're going to start this chess set where also with the lights. So if you pick it up, it will show you how to move and stuff.
Oh, so I can actually play chess.
You can learn, yeah. So the Queen's Gambit got everything triggered again. Have you watched it on Netflix? You should watch it.
Okay.
Queen's Gambit, watch it. And so that's where we're starting now. So just finishing this. Just ordered 1,000 LEDs so we can start making.
Should be enough.
Yeah. So when you order PCBs, do you have a specific manufacturer, or you just go with the cheapest one?
For hobby projects, I use the cheapest one. There's even a website where you can fill in the specs for your PCB, and then the cheapest one goes on top.
What's this website called?
PCB Shopper or something. I don't know.
Type it in. PCB Shopper. The prices.
The quality of the PCBs is generally already fine for hobby projects.
Yeah, I noticed sometimes ordering these cheap PCBs, then if you solder too much, the jacks come off.
Yeah, of course. And it can be beneficial to order PCBs, more PCB designs at the same place, because you might have discounts or something.
And shipping, if you put them together, you pay less for shipping.
But for hobby, it's mostly one PCB every few months, so that doesn't really help.
Yeah.
Or in my case, sometimes years.
Yeah, how long did that stairs take you? That was long, eh?
I believe 2 years, roughly. Yeah. But then it's stretched over 1 or 2 evenings a week for like 3 hours, and then you get the project is quite complex on itself, and then if you spread those that complexity over 1 or 2 evenings a week throughout the year, then it goes fast.
And that project, let's example the stairs. Did you have like a idea from the beginning, and this is what I want to achieve, or did you keep adding stuff as you were going? So what was the first idea that you had? Like, or did you keep adding stuff?
I was already building a project with existence on different modules for domotics in the house, or lights and whatever. And then we went to moving to a new home, and then I had the possibility to build the stairs, because we had to renew the existing covers. So that's the time. I also had LED strips laying around, which had no purpose yet. So the combination of those from new stairs, and I had LED strips available, and I was doing domotics modules. That triggered me to build the stairs.
Okay, but you don't, before you start the design, you don't like write something down and like have a book where you say, okay, this module's going to do this, plan it ahead. How far do you plan ahead, or do you just get the modules, put it together, and then let's see what happens?
Yeah, the main idea from stairs and then lining up every step is quite easily done. But the complexity of all the software features we now have is something which just grows while building it.
So it's more software complicated than hardware.
Yeah.
The stairs.
Yeah.
That's what people make more software, man.
But it's also never finished, such projects. I can go on and on building more software features if I want to.
Yeah. But now if you wanted to take that to the market, you probably first get it to the market and then add on, not just keep working on it.
But also if you bring it to market, you get customers saying, can I do this, or can I do that? And then you spend another few months to get new features for them.
Yeah, if you've got a small customer base, but if you've got 1,000 people in connect, you can't make everyone happy.
But then if you have a large customer base, you are constantly supporting them because there are issues. So it's a trade-off.
And the future? So you're going to focus more on PC design, more software, everything?
I would love to do the combination.
Yeah. That is unique. Guys, if you can get into a company where you can go idea, PCB, program, everything yourself, take it. It is. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Or I've not seen it. I've seen it once.
It's the most difficult, but also the most rewarding part.
Yeah, but you always have support. You're not always by yourself.
No, of course.
That's the thing. So that's why we also started the Discord channel, just so you know that you can ask questions. You're not going to do this by yourself. Engineering is difficult to do by yourself. Any more questions, guys? I'm just trying to go through it. So as this podcast go on and on, it will probably get better. We're still learning.
First guest, right?
Yeah, first guest.
Sure.
First guest. Next week we have a mechatronics guy from Egypt. So a bit different. So we get all the engineers here. But we've been busy for an hour already. Time went quick. But I don't know. And do you see yourself staying as a engineer forever, or do you see yourself becoming like management? Because in the real world, this is what happened, guys. In the real world, you do engineering for 5 years, and then you become a manager for 25 years. It's really.
You know too much about all the processes in the company that you get pushed up higher and higher into management.
Is it possible to stay engineer forever?
I think if you want it, you can stay engineer forever. Yeah, of course.
At a corporate company.
Yeah.
I'm fighting it hard.
But you have to do it yourself because people are starting to push you, if you're good enough, to management functions because you know too much. Yeah. And then you can educate new engineers which join the company. But if you want to stay and build your own hardware, your own software, it's your opinion, so you can do it.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's nothing wrong with it. So if people want to be in the management's direction, it's fine. But I just see it more, 90% of engineers at the end become managers, the young guys take over. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, I'm going to try to stay engineer as long as possible. Do you see yourself as a manager?
No, not yet. I like the engineering part too much, but I can imagine in 20 years it can be completely different.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. It's like you have control, but you don't have control. Because if someone messes up, you know what I mean? You have to. That's different. Hardik Gupta. He asked, "What are some of the most problematic or annoying things in PCB design?"
PCBs where problems start which you then can't identify. That's the worst. Most problems start, of course, if you don't know why, but if you are stuck on problems which can take days before you even have a clue what to look for, that's the worst.
I forget an example where you populate the board with an 0402 capacitor, but the capacitor was tombstone. But the shadow of the capacitor made it look like it's populated. So without a magnifying glass, you cannot see it. And I think that's what you mean. It's just something that pops up. What a problematic, annoying thing. Making footprints. I don't like making footprints.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, making mistakes in footprints.
I think footprints is the worst for me. Because that takes so much time, actually, if you do it correctly. And if you
it takes a lot of time, and the end result is just a component on the board.
Yes, and you can mess it up.
Yes.
You can mess it up big time.
Badly, yeah.
It's like with the center points, when it picks it up, you off center, or like with the WS212Bs, the LEDs, these LEDs, they actually, pin 3's got the mark on it, not pin 1.
LEDs and markings is chaos.
So I literally put the pin 3 on pin 1 and so yeah, most of the problematic.
For LEDs, never go on the markings of the LEDs, never.
I thought, okay, maybe the inrush current is too much, it keeps playing, I keep doing the same thing.
Diodes have a nice cathode marking, but LEDs.
And ICs, it's dotted with pin 1. Problematic things, PCB design. Think about other stuff. I hate footprints.
Did you remember the LEDs at the previous company where the marking changed throughout the revision of the same LED?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, data sheets, man, data sheets.
And even sometimes the data sheets are not up to date yet. Yeah. So you produced a sample board with LEDs in production with brand new LEDs, and you follow the data sheet, everything works perfectly. And then new LEDs arrive, which have a revision change somehow, but it's the same LED, and the data sheet is not updated yet. But the cathode and anode are swapped somehow.
Yeah.
And then your whole production goes.
And I had a thing with this, actually with these coasters, Altium can only pick up 500 errors. So we made this.
How do you know that?
If you guys see, there's some, I can't see, but there's some copper openings, like to make stars. So you remove the salt. So Altium, I was lazy, and Altium doesn't see those errors. So I'm like, okay, don't worry about it, man. So it pops at 500, outputs 500. Meanwhile, it didn't root stuff. So the yeah, it was unrooted. The actual problem. So yeah, that was bad. And then but I don't know, problematic, annoying things.
Yeah, that's life. As an engineer.
Yeah. Just think if there's anything else problematic.
You should stop a day when you have solved a problem.
Do you think first time right exists?
No.
Should we worry about impedance on small board designs for differential pair traces? How fast is the signal? Nish?
Yeah, only high speed is critical.
Yeah, like even USB is not that fast.
Up to USB 2, you can get away with a lot of dumps.
But I think USB 3 is quite important lately. I don't know.
Yeah, then the speed goes up quite fast.
Yeah, but I think maybe it means that. What do you mean by small board designs? Like physically small, or just your hobby small that's not going to manufacture? Will it still work if you don't do it perfect?
I guess most of the time it will still work, but then if you get stuff which sometimes works, sometimes don't, you get a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But for example, for USB, there are lots of guides on how to route PCBs. And
KiCad and Altium already has the differential pair, and you can match it. It's you can just put the impedance, it does it for you. That's really helpful. That's a good question.
It's better safe than sorry, of course, but
most
of the time it already works.
Yeah, differential. Yeah. Harshad says hello. Hi, Harshad. Thanks for the questions, guys. I'm still thinking about annoying PCB stuff. Because I swear a lot when I do it. I don't like soldering my hand, to be honest with you.
No?
No. I want people to populate it. That's another thing, guys. If you design the PCB, think about also how you're going to solder it. Because you can actually make the pads a bit thicker to hand solder. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because it gets expensive. You want other companies to populate it. I actually have a reflow oven that Bob gave me.
Yeah. Still works?
Yeah, it still works. I'm actually going to use it now for the next coasters.
It's a whole different way of soldering it.
Yeah.
Putting your solder paste manually and placing components by hand.
Yeah, we had a question the other day. So what is your opinion about the solder mask opening and the solder paste? So what should the difference be? So you've got the solder mask opening, but then the paste for the stencil is a bit less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a rule of thumb for that?
No, not really. Depends on the size of the component. Because if you have small processors where the leads are very close to each other, then you want to make sure that the solder mask is in between the pads, so you have a separation of pads.
Stuff,
the islands. But if you go to bigger components, it's not that critical anymore.
Yeah, I remember with our machines we had to stencil a certain way. Yeah, we had a lot of tick boxes. Guys, when you design something, maybe make yourself a checklist for a checklist. Yeah, we joke because we used to have a checklist to check a checklist. But sometimes it's easier just to go through, did I do this, did I do this, did I do this?
You always forget something.
Yeah, it's fine to make a mistake, guys, just don't keep making it 4 times.
Then you need a checklist.
Yeah, you just started cleaning. Did I do it? Yeah, I did. Great.
Yeah. You have to see the benefits of the checklist, otherwise it doesn't work.
No. But also, I think what helped me a lot now is once I know a circuit's working, I take it and I save it.
Yeah, you can reuse it.
You reuse the circuit. Don't try to be a hero and redo it every time. I redraw the ESP32 50 times. I'm like stupid. But anyway, that's why we try to reuse it with ports. And you guys got a function, not a function block? Right now, you made it.
The
building blocks.
Building
blocks. So that's a nice way for new people just to take a function that works and just put it in.
But also use somebody else's examples.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to check those, but why trying yourself to figure out how every component needs to be when you can use an example from somebody else as a basis?
Yeah, a lot of people want to learn the technical parts, and that's what I say. They want to copy and stuff.
So you learn more than enough from that already.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I always say, don't try to be so learn this. Build something. I think once you build, the most. You're gonna break stuff. You're gonna waste money. You're gonna burn yourself. It happens.
And you can simulate if you want. small circuits you can simulate in
What simulation tool do you use?
LT-Spice.
LT-Spice. And what's that one that Gerard used?
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Someone actually asked me the other day about it. I'm going to tell you now.
That's easy for just quick reference for yourself.
Microcap.
That's it.
So I know that microcap works quite well.
But you have to, I think it's best to use it for small parts of a circuit and not the whole complete circuit.
No, definitely not.
Because then the compilation time for simulation can be complex.
And when you solder a PCB that you just designed, do you solder a certain section, let's say a 3-volt 3 regulator, and test it, and then solder next and test it, or you solder everything and let's go?
Yeah, depends on the complexity, of course, but if the power circuits are also new, I start with the power circuits first.
Always power circuits first.
Yeah.
Okay, shorts and things like that.
You need to know for sure that you have the correct power rails and voltages, because if you apply a bit too high voltage, the rest is broken.
So you get your PCB in your hand. Do you continuity test or stuff like that, or do you just assume they do correctly?
No, I assume first PCB is correct before I start building. Yeah.
But you don't go check it ground or shorted or anything.
Yeah, the power rails you can do, but then you also check that already when you're populating the power circuits. And that's something you can easily spot. I also visually check the PCBs first, because you can see traces which are broken or shorted.
True. And you do that with eye.
Yeah. When I receive the PCBs, then I first start to check the PCBs manually by 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes,
yeah, but yours are quite complicated. Yeah, I did the same. I populated everything here, and then there was a problem, wasting my time. So it's I think always start with power. It's a good point. Good point.
The LED stairs PCBs, for example, there was a chip on that which required such a small trace going fan out of the whole process, which are like 50 channels or something. They had a whole bunch of traces which are only 0.1 millimeter thick.
Sure, that's small, eh?
But then the process is, we ordered PCBs at a cheap Chinese manufacturer. So the traces sometimes were a bit smaller or even open.
And then you patched it.
And then you need to patch those. Yeah. It's critical.
So what's the best patch wire? Because I use patch wire a lot. Do you prefer the transformer wire or the normal wire?
The normal wires are easy because they don't require you to scrape off all the stuff. But the patch wires which have that coating, it's just easy to work with because you can lay all of them on top of each other without.
I need to buy some. I'm not getting. Where do you buy it from? Mauser.
All sorts of companies.
This is our patch a lot. This was a patch because
if you have time, you can use Ali.
Ali. Hardik asked, that's a very good question. What are the major roles for PCB design in the industry? So the different levels, I guess, and all the different roles.
Yeah, what are different roles then?
I'm thinking now.
What complexity then?
Yeah, it must be complexity. So there's different ways. So your company, my company is a bit different. So we don't do full-on PC design ourselves. We have a PC engineer, but then he documents it, and then there's another company do. So he writes an input spec. But that is more technical, and then decide how to do it. It's just one guy owns it, the whole process.
The whole module.
So one guy will do the routing and everything. That can take weeks.
Yeah.
Because what's the most complete PCB you have at the company? The controller, the brains.
There you have critical movements of mechanical parts. Then you need redundant. You need two processes to do the same thing, for example, just for safety.
And then one guy's responsible for that.
But you don't do it alone. You are responsible for the module.
Yeah.
But every part of the process of developing it, you review with colleagues.
Okay. But only one guy will touch that board.
Yeah. The designing part is one person, but of course you review and you chat a lot and But we also sometimes do it with two colleagues. So one does the schematic and one does the PCB.
Yes.
Also
I think that's normal in other companies. Because we normally, in South Africa, we had two PCB engineers, and they literally just do PCB design. They don't know electronics, but they know how to route and find the best way
That's even more specific
Yeah.
PCB design, yeah.
So I think that's different ways of looking at it. So you get PCB designers that are just PCB designers, they don't know anything about, they know a bit, but they didn't study it. So they take your schematic and they will make it. They know the rules, they know how to do the program. Where you get guys that do the schematic and the programming. And your footprints, does one guy in it, or do you all make your own footprints, like standby?
Currently we do it all. For each project you build the footprints you don't have yet in your library.
Yeah, but you guys have to build in a certain way. All have to build the same way, right? Okay.
Yeah, you have a certain amount of rules which everybody uses, which layers to use, what thickness of lines, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
And also footprints can be reviewed.
Yeah, that has to be reviewed. What the major roles? Is that answering your question, or what do you mean by roles? Because a PC engineer will be a PCB designer, but also it's different countries are different, so it's difficult to say.
They can be all around, from packaging to ID to packaging, and you can be very specific to only the PCB itself. And there's a whole lot of in between.
But I think one person just designing is better, because if someone else touches this, every single guy does it differently. Yeah, you follow the same rules, but you think a different way. So
and if you only draw the schematic and somebody else is responsible for the PCB, you have to put in a lot of nodes specifically into the schematic where the PCB designer has to take.
That's a very good point. The voltage has to be this. We need to make the check with that.
Sometimes you can see from the schematic if it's done by one person or not. Because of those nodes, and you should place this capacitor close to IC1 because of da.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if you are the engineer yourself, which also does the PCB, you know that. Unless it's a critical thing and your design is too complex, then you make the notes for yourself as well.
Yeah. That's a very good point, guys. So when you do a schematic, make notes. Even if you make notes, you can come back in 5 years' time, you won't know what's going on.
It's also interesting to view other engineers' schematics from also other companies. Even Apple products, some schematics are available.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm about to ask, because if you look at schematics online now, it's going to be hobby stuff. It's going to be like Adra fruit or something, but I don't know. I don't know. You can look
I watched this YouTube channel where a guy is preparing all sorts of Apple products.
Yeah.
And in one of his videos, he mentions a website where you can download some of the schematics from all the products, of course.
There's like real engineers there.
But those schematics are amazing to read. There's multiple pages of one device, and 100 pages is nothing.
Yeah, but that's not one man.
But then the structure in such schematics is also very, informative.
Yeah, that's true, man. I didn't think about that. Oh.
And development kits are also very interesting to view.
Yeah, that's what I use my base. I'm not gonna, if I have to do something in hobby, I look at the development kits. Like I look what they did, why they did it.
It's the best starting point because they are built for that purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a lot of peripherals and then the way to connect it easily. And if you go from there, you almost know for certain that you're in the right direction.
I've got a question from Miles from Mars. Hello, where is the Vermeulen guy from?
From the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands. Yeah, so I actually live in the Netherlands, and then Bob was my first ever colleague, which I say. I had other colleagues, but he was the first one. He was my buddy at work. So he's from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Dutch. Where's the Vermeulen guy from? Miles from Mars? Why are you asking? He probably saw the surname. Maybe he's from Dutch as well, Netherlands as well. No.
I don't know. So how was it for you to enter a Dutch company and a Dutch buddy?
Yeah, that was different. The first thing, Bob didn't even say hello to me. Bob was just like, so what do you hobby? I'm like, yeah, I play some squash, I play some cricket. I'm like, what do you hobby? I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, this electronic stuff. Yeah. It's the first question. Well, what do you hobby? No, when I first got to this country, I thought, I didn't know what to expect, man. I heard you guys were robots and you got no emotions and stuff like that. Honestly, that's what's going on. Like, but you're just straightforward. But it was awesome, man. It was all welcoming and stuff. I really couldn't complain. And you guys knew a lot, which helped. And especially the older guys. Yes, they always want to give back and explain. Guys, if you find a company with someone who's got lots of experience, and then just learn from them as much as you can. We had some quality guys, older guys, and yeah, they're working for us now. And try to be the dumbest in your company. You learn so much. Yeah, from here I'm coming from. Where are you from? Mars from Mars? I'm still thinking what's annoying about PCBs. I complain so much, man. I should know what's annoying.
Yeah, if you want to come up with something you don't know.
Yeah. It's like Kerry said the other day. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. You're always grumpy when you do it. I don't like struggling, man. Because I saw all these LEDs, and if you do it wrong, it's to get it off is so difficult. So when you hobby, what tools do you use? What tools do you have at home that makes it easier to hobby?
For the soldering enough.
Just in general. So if someone wants to start hobbying at home, what is good to have on a cheap budget? What's the first, as a hobby person, what's the first thing you get?
The soldering iron.
Soldering iron with solder.
Yeah, that helps. I
Uh,
already have like 4 or 5 soldering irons now, I guess.
yeah, you gave me one once.
Yeah.
I'll get it back, I think. I need to go out to Echo.
That was my first soldering iron.
It still worked. You look after stuff. Mars from Mars, because he has the same surname as my mom, and I just want to know, but she was South African. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue because it's very interesting. Yeah, I'm South African, so we have a lot of Vermeulen in South Africa. A rugby player, Captain Dwayne Vermeulen. That's just because the Dutch came and then they left. Yeah.
I recently got my first smoke fan. How do you call it? For the soldering smoke. Yeah. To get it away with a filter as well.
Is it really that bad for you? Because then I'm screwed.
Yeah,
Is it not only if it's lead? If it's lead free, it's safe.
Yeah, it's never really healthy to smoke.
Yeah, we have the same problem.
Yeah.
We put the ventilators on. And especially Kerry now busy with mixing the epoxy. Apparently that's also fumes unhealthy. So I'll probably die by next year. So, but how does it look there?
It's just a small fan you set on your table, and there is a filter in front of it which converts the toxic fumes into something.
AliExpress?
No, this one. Yeah, I don't know. I got it from a present. As a present.
Yeah, we are South African. Mars from Mars, also from South Africa. Where from South Africa are you? I'm a PE boy. So,
did you already have the hot air gun?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm doing everything with I'm doing everything with the other number one. I like it though. But I should just reflow it. I'm being lazy because the reflow oven's so nice. You just put it on paste. But the hot air gun, I don't know if the LEDs won't it damage it.
Yeah, for LEDs is quite difficult.
Yeah.
It's more. I use it more for rework and for heat shrinks. Very handy.
Harties. Yeah. Bob went to South Africa last year for our wedding.
Just in time for Corona.
Before Corona, yeah. Oh, Corona. Yeah, I was supposed to. Anyway, hopefully South Africa can sort themselves out before March. Guys, keep these questions coming. Loving it. All my questions people gave me on Discord are done. So, guys, if you guys want to just join the Discord as well, it's below in the link. They will chat offline as well. But yeah, there's a lot of comments, but otherwise we can call it. Is there anything else you want to say? Yeah, the battery lasted. Wrong side. So it's actually capacitive touch in here.
So funny.
Love it. Love it. I never knew LEDs were such a big thing before I came to this country. Because in Africa, they just switch off the lights. So we don't have power. We do.
And then you have the batteries.
No, they've got a thing called load shedding, man. If we have lights, we're happy. We don't care what color it is.
That's everywhere. My stairs, my closet, my mirror.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys should see on Instagram, he's got LEDs, crazy LEDs. So yeah, I think that was quite nice. Hour and a half already, Bob. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Guys, any more questions? Otherwise, I've asked all my questions that I want to talk to Bob about. And I can't think of anything else now. Sometimes it just happens. And let us know about this concept, if it's good, if it's bad, what we can improve on. So the idea is just to bring people from industry in. You guys ask questions, I try to ask questions. So you can just learn what is like outside studying. Models from Mars ask, what's the biggest projects you have ever done? Stairs.
I think the stairs is now quite big.
For private. And company-wise?
Company-wise, we built a LED lighting for roller coaster wheels. That was amazing.
But for the wheels?
Yeah.
But it just puts on what makes it so cool?
Because it was controlled by the roller coaster itself.
But powered?
Powered and controlled.
And it was inside the wheel?
Yeah. So you have the major G-forces and communication needs to be wirelessly. And
the wheels talk to each other?
Yeah.
How do you
and to the base station of the roller coaster as well.
How do you...
So if you went to the theme park and then it was almost dark, then the roller coaster wheels were all lighting up in patterns, a specific pattern for the ride itself.
How did you cope with the G-force and the vibrations?
Making sure the whole PCB is in balance throughout the wheel.
Or was flex PCBs?
No, it was just FF4 and then potted for all.
So was it squares then, I assume? Or...
It was a round PCB.
Of course, man, you just cut the middle out. Anyway.
Well, that's some quite of difficult engineering problems.
And what did you use to communicate to one another?
It was wirelessly with, I believe, Bluetooth. Yeah, Bluetooth.
That's a small module, right? That's small.
Small.
And the power?
The power was wirelessly transferred. There's magnets and coils. Difficult stuff.
So as it goes, it generates power and charges it, or was there a battery or anything?
Yeah, there is a small super caps in the wheel, so you can charge during the rotation of the wheel. You can charge the super caps.
But then so it actually only supposed to light up when it moves.
Yeah.
And RGB, full RGB.
Full RGB, yeah. And very bright because you have to see it at quite a distance, a roller coaster.
And the heat and stuff, aluminum PCBs.
Yeah, for the LEDs, it's aluminium, and then the electronics can be FF4 as well, so it's a combination as well.
They plug into each other like daughter boards.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy stuff.
If you think about rockets as well, like the electronics say they have to handle those G-forces.
Yeah.
Because I've heard about the rockets just go and the resistors stay behind. That's a cool project. It's still working.
I don't know. A long time ago.
Just Bluetooth. But then it communicates to the ground as well. But what type of features do they have at ground? Why do they have to communicate to each other?
The main benefit for the company is that it also has maintenance features for the roller coaster.
Maintenance.
Yeah, so it is fun for the customers because you have the LED lighting and patterns and shit. And then the wheels are also full of sensors like acceleration and temperature. So it can measure the whole ride of the roller coaster. And then at the end, if it's back in the base station, it can transmit all the power from the wheels. And then you can see if one wheel vibrates too much, it probably will have to have some maintenance.
So you can put all the power on it. Because you can see with the light if it vibrates. What do you mean?
The light is pure interactive.
Yeah. So,
but you also are logging temperatures and vibrations.
So you've got sensors in the wheel as well. So the PCB has LEDs, sensors, everything.
Yeah, and then when it's finished the ride, it's in the base station and it has just enough power in the super caps to transfer all the maintenance data back to the station.
That is amazing. Wow. Hardy wants to know, how should one start? What are your preparations for getting into PCB designing? I'm a complete beginner and I'm considering to be in this industry in the future. Yeah, I think we've answered this, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how should you start? There's no prerequisite, right? So it's very helpful to know basics of electronics, resistor, capacitor. Prerequisite, no. Just download KiCad for free. Or LTM has also got a free trial for students. And just choose a project. I don't know, complete beginner, are you studying now or high school? Just get started. I don't know how to, I always don't know how to say it. Like you just have to choose a project and build it. I see a lot of people on Discord building masks now with air filters and stuff. There's a guy making a clock. It's literally get something you're interested in and then build something with that. So I enjoy commercial stuff, like not commercial stuff, should I say, but fun stuff to give to people. So that's why we focus on this. I like chess, so we're gonna make a chess board. I love sport, so I want to do more stuff in sport. So if you can choose something that you're interested in and designing something for that, that's a good way to go. Like Bob is obsessed with LEDs, so LEDs.
Start off easy, so you have the results quite fast.
Yeah, because they will also give you like motivation. What I did. That's a good point.
If you're stuck at your first project, then you won't go too far. So yeah,
that's a very good point. Because it can get frustrating.
Yeah,
it can get frustrating. I don't think about that. Don't do complex stuff.
Yet.
Yeah. So, well, example of an easy circuit that you made?
Yeah, can be anything. Just a badge for your clothes to put it on. The LEDs are spinning.
That's a good.
It's a simple thing, but it rewards.
Yeah, because we also made like a small battery charger thing, like just with the one chip, a USB, something, just do a circuit. I like the badge. Yeah. I know you guys made the glasses as well with the LEDs. That was cool. That was cool.
I remember that I made once a charger for my phone, which can have two AA batteries, for example. Because when you went on vacation or something, there was nowhere a USB port or power available, and then you can just put in two AA batteries.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Always design something to try to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Don't just design something to design someone. So don't just see something on the internet. And it's nice to redo it, but it's also nice to solve problems. I asked you this, but we can answer it again. What job did you want to do when you were a child? And when did you wanted to be an engineer? Your aha moment. Yeah, so it was literally engineer from the beginning, never any doubts, never wanted to become a ballerina or a TV producer.
Probably, but I don't know. I know for sure that when I was 9, I wanted to do electronics already.
So your whole high school, primary school, you knew I'm going to do electronics.
Yeah.
I think that's quite special. I think that's quite unique.
It's also quite easy for choosing your directions in the education.
Yeah, but no, it's a bit different. Like South Africa wasn't like you guys. We chose very late, like 16, 17.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but I also heard quite some people around me struggling to choose which direction. I never experienced that, so I don't know how that works. But I can imagine if you don't know for sure which direction you want to go into, it can be quite difficult.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't like that. So for me, I wanted to become a doctor, and then I saw blood and stuff. So, and then in South Africa, I wanted to do engineering. I didn't know what. So I was 17, 18, didn't know what I want to do. And then I did mechatronics because I had everything. So I thought, okay, I don't know what I want to do. Let me do everything. But then it's jack of all trades, master of none. And then when we first built that beambot, remember the beam? Yours guys also built the beambot.
Mm-hmm.
The line following robot. Like, cool. This is so cool. Digital electronics. I fell in love with that, and I just went electronics all the way. I don't know, mechanical, just smash. Don't know. No, I just love electronics. Mars, do you do any electronics or aha moment? I don't think there's aha moment.
Yeah, it probably goes gradually.
Gradually,
yeah.
Because there's always stuff you don't like, but majority.
It's funny because electronics within my family is not that big.
Yeah.
I didn't have it from my father, for example, but my nephew also is electronics. But we are the only two doing PCBs and software. And
yeah, I'm thinking the same. My dad did a bit, I think. But yeah, I was always in computers and stuff. So when I was like 5, we had the Pentium 483 with DOS and you type in the languages. So technology was always there. But electronics was, I just like building stuff. Like
taking apart stuff. Eh?
Yeah, taking apart, breaking stuff. If you want anyone a good breaker, I'm your guy. I can break anything. But also just, I love when I have an idea in my head to see it in life. That to the end is amazing.
Also, don't store too much of electronic stuff in your house if you have to
yeah, I will share that photo, Bob. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. So yeah, Hardik. Hardik is in second year of college and studying electronics. And when you study electronics, did you do a lot of stuff outside of electronics while studying, or did you just do your study and what type of stuff did you do after hours to help you? Just projects also. When did your project start? When you started working or at college?
That also started gradually from sometimes a bit playing around with stuff to actually building something, getting stuck with a problem for weeks, months, and then ignoring everything again.
Yeah, you have to enjoy it. If you want to, it's a different mindset. If you're just doing it for fun or you actually just want to get it done.
And watch out where you start, with which programming language you start, because they told me to start with assembly language, which is quite difficult.
It's not needed anymore.
No.
C is the same speed, right? I was like, I don't know, assembly language. Now it's Python. Everyone's Python, this, Python, that.
Yeah, there are so many different languages.
Yeah, I've never done Python before. Not really. But Python's the most popular one now, I think. Scripting. C still the same. Miles says he would electrocute himself 5 minutes in. I spectate from the sides. But you can't. What's the chance of dying? Because I've shocked myself so many times. You can't really die, right?
That depends on how long, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Most of the time it's reaction.
It's quick, yeah.
It's quick and then it's done.
You're never going to hold it yourself.
No.
Not like Superman.
The difficulty is, if you are getting a shock, you compress your muscles.
Yeah, but that's why it's AC, right? Well, that's why AC helps, because it gives you that release. With DC, it'll be constant, or not?
Yeah, I don't know how that exactly works, but that's the danger. If you
Yeah.
clamp something and it's stuck, then it can be very dangerous, because then it keeps flowing.
Yeah, but that was my understanding with AC, because you got the top and bottom that on the way back you can release. With DC, it'll be constant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I shocked myself with 440. Was it okay? Wasn't too bad for something. Now we have this test rig at work. We put our stuff in for test rigs.
Mm-hmm.
So safety is not a thing in South Africa. So there's no lights or no anything, nothing. And I like pushing stuff. So I wanted to test pin connectors, but it was on. So I put my finger there for 440 volts. Also,
yeah, you learn quickly from
it's
that.
dangerous, but yeah, it was something more, because we also had a guy in the mining industry that touched 1,000 volts.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily his arm touched the panel, which was grounded.
So it goes.
So it's just burnt. Otherwise he was dead. It's crazy stuff. Guys, don't play with high power, please. Buy the safety modules. Keep it simple. 3 volt 3, 5 volts, 12 volts. If you feel lucky, 24 volts.
I don't like mains either.
No. But I think homemades are fine. The chances of you dying is very small.
Yeah.
Earth leakage will trip. Want it? I don't know.
Get tested.
Let's go. But that's why I got Electro Boom. He does it for us.
Oh, amazing.
If you guys want to watch funny videos, go watch Electro Boom on YouTube. He's quite educational as well, not just funny. He's funny as well, of course. Any more questions? Oh, I think that was a good first one. You didn't have a cookie. I think that's it, Bob. Are you happy? Anything else you want to tell the people?
Enjoy electronics.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please DM us, direct message, send us messages. But yes, I think that's it. Discord at the bottom, if you want to join our Discord, where you can chat to all the engineers in there. There are about 115 people now. We'll keep making YouTube videos on PC design, so if you want to learn anything, just let us know. But besides that, this was fun. Let us know what we can improve on next time. So I want to invite more engineers. If there's other engineers who want to be part of this, let us know. What do you think about this way of doing things? Is it useful? Is it fun? But till next time, are you happy?
Yeah.
Push the button. Thanks, guys. Bye. Oh, shucks. Wait.